Give a quick tutorial telling you about some different things that could help you refine your website. Now, what I have on this page is not my real home page, but I put on a bunch of extra elements in here just to kind of show you what you can do if you wanted to do some more creative types of things and do some interactions. All right, so I'm just in Elementor. Here is my home page, and so I've just created here. First I have a basic container that has 3 columns in it. And what I can do with each column is I can give it some directions about how I want it to come into my page. Either right now the default is just that when people come onto your page that all these elements would just be there, but I can go to advanced and go to motion effects to give it some things to do. So in this case I have told it to fade in from the left, and so when I do that, let me just show, well, let me first of all tell you this. I have to fade in from the left. I have this one set up to fade in from the right. You saw that just happen. And so I just go again to advanced and motion effects, and I have the entrance animation to fade in from the right. And I can tell it to happen normal time, or I can change the timing. I can make it delay, so this one comes first, this one comes in second. Then I have this container where I have my logo, and on this one I have an entrance effect as well, and it is the ta-da one. So let's just take a look at the different things you can do. So we could have something like a swing. We could have, this is what I chose, the ta-da, and jello. So there's all different types of things you can do here. There's a lot in this menu. You can play with them, see if you like any of them. For now, I'm just going to go with that ta-da. All right, then I have this border down here. It's actually just the container that has a background in it. So I just made this container and I made it that color, and then I also have a spacer in here, so that would say how big or small it would be. The spacer is just what you get it from when you're putting stuff in your columns or containers. I just got a spacer from here, dragged it in, and once you do that, you can tell it how big or small you want that spacer to be. All right, notice I have this effect here, and where I have these different kind of shades coming out of here. So how did I do that? So first of all, just click on the entire container that's here, and you have shape dividers, and you are able to make different shapes to divide one section of your website from another. So you can do mountains, drops, which I'm not too fond of that one. Little teeny tiny zigzags there. It's almost hard to see. Then I think I had fan opacity there is what I had done. And so you get where you can have this little divider that does some different things. And also with this I could give it a motion effect as well, and I told this one that I want it to zoom in up. Let's just see if it had zoomed in down, that's what it would have done. Now I'm going to get it back to zoom in up, and that's what it's going to look like updated. So now if I go to my site, let's see what this looks like. And this is way too much. I would never do all this stuff, but that's just an example of what you can do. I'm not saying that this is great design right here, just giving you some examples. Now another thing I wanted to show you is that you can edit your images or your words, anything to have a link to it. So here I have my logo, and I have made my logo to link to my About page. And all I did to do this was I went to my About page, which is here. I just copied my that address and then went over to where to go here, and I just pasted that in. And so now if people click on here, they will get my website, or they will get my About page, so they could learn more about me potentially. So if we go over here, so let's look at that, the entrance animations again. And now if they come here, they click on that and it goes to my home page. So coming back to here, also just taking a look at the editing of here, you do have the normal state and you have the hover state. So you can put in a hover animation. So I had pulse grow, but I could do anything. How about I could do that again? I could make it a longer, but it would take longer for it to do that. So I have different things that I can do here. All right, so that's just some things that I can do. Make that just a little bit bigger. All right, so I am going to update again. And then if I go look at it, we go back to here and then again, that link will now take me here. So those are some things that you can do in order to put some special effects, a little bit of spice. You don't want to do too many, obviously. You want to use this sparingly. Every time you are putting in a special effect, it's going to cause just a slight amount of bloat, lag. So it's going to kind of bloat your website, going to cause some lag, and so you don't want to do too many of these. One other thing I want to mention, let me go back to this image here. And so I'm going to edit the image. Right now it's kind of in the middle of this container, but let's say I wanted it somewhere different. And I can't do it easily by controlling the margin, like maybe let's say I try to do something with the margins and I'm not real happy what it does. I think, okay, I don't like that because now it's making my purple bar move, but maybe I want it closer to that purple bar, but without the purple bar moving. What could I do? So that's as low as I can get it down without it moving the purple bar. What I could do is to use a different type of positioning. So I can go to position, go to default, and go and say that I want it to be absolute. And when it's absolute, I can now drag it anywhere I want. It's not limited to that container. Now this does also take extra coding, so this will make your website smaller, not smaller, it will take it longer to load. It will make the codes bigger. So you want to be careful how often you use this. Now where this positioning is changes. For instance, it didn't used to be in this particular area. Right now it's under advanced layout and you go down to find positioning. It used to be down under mask. There was something called positioning between mask and responsive, and you would find it there. So sometimes you have to hunt for where the position is, but you would, if you change it to absolute, you can move it all around. So just a couple little more things that you can do to make your website look exactly like you want it to look.